You want me to fly 12 hours earlier because it's cheaper? TLDR. Company changed my flight to save £80. Fine. 2 hotels, 2 taxis and an extra day's pay please. Disclaimer. English is my second language but I've been speaking it since I was 5 so really should know better. I'm on a laptop so any formatting errors are because I'm dumb. 56M in the UK. Was working in Africa as an operations manager for a large global security company from 2009 to 2014. The country I was working in had been through a long civil war and was very underdeveloped. Think no paved roads. People living a very traditional African lifestyle. At the time I'd been working there on a 10 weeks in country, 2 weeks at home rotation for about 4 years. I'd flown to and from work so often that I had the journey down to the bare minimum travel time. And it worked out the cheapest option for the company because travel days were paid from when I left home. The shorter my journey the cheaper it worked out for the company. Someone in the head office had looked at cutting down on travel costs, probably to make themselves look good and get promoted. As a result, I got an email after a week at home saying they had changed my normal flight, which was 5 p.m. on Sunday from my nearest UK airport, via Amsterdam, then on to Nairobi, connecting with a 9 a.m. flight to the war-torn country on Monday morning. The change was from a 5 p.m. departure to a 5 a.m. departure the same day. Same route, and saving about £80. To clarify, the 9 a.m. flight from Nairobi was the first flight to war-torn country because the destination airport was the only surfaced runway in the country. It had had no runway lights or radar, so all flights had to be in daylight. Anyway, I agreed to the flight time change, but they had to move it to the Monday so I don't lose a day at home. All will become clear. They agreed because still saved £80 on the ticket. No skin off their nose. Once I got the flight confirmation, I contacted the travel desk asking for hotel and taxi bookings. When they asked why I need these, I explained that to make a 5 a.m. departure required a check-in at 3 a.m. So I needed a hotel at the airport on Sunday night because no trains were running to get me the 3 hours to the airport from home for that time of the morning. The flights they booked would get me into Nairobi for 7 p.m. after dark, so I'd need a hotel there and a taxi each way to and from the hotel to get me onto the 9 a.m. flight on Tuesday, the same flight I would have been on if I'd left at 5 p.m. but a day later. A couple of days go by and I got a phone call from the company travel desk telling me the travel plan was confirmed. I was on the 5 a.m. flight with a hotel reservation at my UK airport the night before. A hotel in Nairobi after landing, and the taxi would collect me in Nairobi and drop me at the airport for my final connection. I asked about the cost saving. They said £80. I then asked about the hotels and taxis. They replied, "Oh, they don't come out of our budget. That's the operations budget, so you're fine." I was happy. I was arriving back at work a day later. Still paid the same amount with a night out in Nairobi to sweeten the deal. My boss, on the other hand, went nuts. Nobody had told him of the changes. My deputy flew out on the plane I flew in on, meaning I didn't get a handover of the work that was going on. On top of that, the cost for hotels, taxis and extra days pay had all come out of my boss's operational budget. I think the total amount added was almost £1,000. But hey, they save £80 on the flight cost. Yup, different budget buckets. This is why travel budget was in my company dissolved all into operational budgets of individual services. No more stupid savings that cost 10x more somewhere else. Kinda reminds me of a story my dad told me from his working days. He was in a telecom union in the US and had to travel with his manager to somewhere out of state. originally planned to travel on Monday, but his manager wanted to leave on Sunday afternoon instead. So they get to the airport and plane is delayed. Hanging out and the manager made some comment about the wasted time. And my dad was like, "Well, I don't mind, I'm getting triple pay." Manager responded along the lines of, "What are you taking about?" My dad said, "Well, according to our contract, 1. Travel time is paid time. 2. This puts me over my 40 hours for the week. So now getting time and a half. And 3. It's Sunday, which means time and a half again. But you wanted us to head out today instead of on a Monday." Sue, quote, "I feel like I'm very fortunate to be able to book my own travel accommodations with no oversight. I do what makes sense based on where I need to be, without much regard for economically driven savings. For example, if I find out that a customer needs me in San Francisco on Monday, and I'm in Charlotte on Friday, and the only seats left available are first class, it's first class. No one ever questions that for me. Thankfully, my bosses understand the impact and appreciation from our customers for the level of service we provide. That has been instrumental in increasing our market share, and it's visible and communicated." Standard practice. Person A's performance is measured according to savings they make on a specific line item, and they are given the authority to juggle things in a manner that saves money on that line item, even though it costs money on other line items. Meanwhile, Person B is chewed out because costs of line items they're responsible for go up, even though they don't have the authority to veto Person A's juggling, which is the cause of those line items going up. What happened going forward? Not our budget, not our problem. Straight out of re-engineering the corporation. That, oh, it comes out of another department's budget, so it's fine. When I was commuting between the US and India, my manager always booked me on excursion flights with fixed departure and return dates with no refunds or transfers. The problem was that I never stayed at home long enough to wait for the cheap flight back. So I had to get the company to fork out another $1,500 for a one-way flight to Mumbai, making the total cost about $2,200. On one trip back to the States, I did my own research and discovered that it was cheaper to buy business class tickets with open return dates. This was even cheaper than flying ordinary class. On my return to Mumbai, my manager was pissed that I booked business even after I told him I saved the company a net $800. Because as usual I had to fly back a week early. Managers can be so stupid at times. I am a bazillion-mile traveler. We have a new finance director. Second week on the job. Has set up several travel meetings for next week. I'm sure there will be several new restrictions. I can't wait to begin malicious compliance. In my organization, they would rather have employees stay overnight at an intermediate location instead of traveling 16 hours straight. Not sure if it's actually 16, but something like that. If you fly over a certain number of hours in a single day, agency rules allow the employee to fly business class, which is more expensive. Screw the employee if he wants to get home to see the family, 'cause it's about saving a few bucks. I'm glad the op enjoyed his night in Nairobi, though. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. SMH, I feel this. I work for one company but have two different managers. They are constantly arguing about who will pay for my overtime. I look at them like they are stupid because, well, they are. Neither of them pay me, the company pays me. I love that different budget mentality. I had a manager like that. Cheap and conniving as you could imagine with his budget. But if we were, say, ever asked to ship anything, That came out of the requester's budget and it was 100% overnight. He felt it made us look better because things got done faster, though if I had to ship something to another person in our group, it was like it can go ground. He tried license sharing on some of our apps too. One of my cohorts went on vacation with a license checked out and no one in his office could get into his computer. My company used to require you to take a flight with a layover if it was the lowest fare. No exceptions. I happily spent so many days earning time and a half or even double time watching ESPN at airports across the country. I can take a Monday direct flight and be on site at noon, or a connecting flight on Sunday that has me on OT all day plus another day of hotel and car rental. Whatever. I never tire of these sorts of stories. Penny-wise, pound-foolish tales and stolen office lunch tales are my absolute favorites. Just another cherry on top. I got a phone call from the company travel desk. This could have been an email. Instead, they disturb you in your time at home. I'm on a laptop, so any formatting errors are because I'm dumb. This is basically my life motto, lol. That's hilarious, open mouth smile. Disclaimer. English is my second language. I come across native English speakers every single day who aren't anywhere near as capable of conveying a story in English as you have been. You're doing great. Keep it up. Penny wise, pound foolish.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.